extra, but preparing to live stream. And then I'll check to see here. Live. See. I'll check right now. Okay. We are logging on here to Codebreaker Real Talk. I'm just waiting for this. Okay. We're on Codebreaker Real Talk. I'm Veronica Bartolini. And hi, guys. I have Teresa Sixberry as my co-host. And I have Alex Nelson as my guest and Jennie Gentry. So welcome, guys. Thank you for being on. And how do you guys know each other, by the way?
So we met actually through my book, actually. So I was talking to one of her friends, Callie, who was in my book in one of the last chapters, and I was holding interviews for women to describe their view, their opinion on masculine, how masculines are toxic in today's world, what a divine masculine looks like. And as I was interviewing Callie, Jennie just happened to be right there, and she was like, "Yeah, you can interview me right now." And I said, "That sounds great." And then she was a part of the book, and since then we've had the opportunity to meet. She is an incredible person. She's got tons of knowledge, and yeah, I would listen to everything that she has to say.
Thank you. So who would like to go first? Jennie?
I was more like Alex was already talking, so
I'm
I
fine either
know.
why
way.
I was raising my hand.
Well,
But
we'll let
Yeah,
Jennie
so
go.
I can go. Yeah, so
Okay, whatever.
I mean, I'm fine with however we want to go, but I'll just go ahead and start since I was talking. So my name is Alex Nelson. I'm the founder of Ascend Pathway. It's a collective of online souls that are assisting other people with the awakening process. We have long-term goals of putting up eco villages that are sustainable with regenerative farming, well, across the US and across the world, ideally. The reason I put this together is because I had such a difficult time with awakening. It was it was a nightmare. I mean, they call it the dark night of the soul. And from a young age, I've always felt, I guess, kind of awake just because I noticed that like the system wasn't really benefiting the majority. There was a few people that had most of the power. A lot of the information I was getting seemed off. It didn't seem accurate. Then I came to find out that a lot of the history had been rewritten and a lot of information has just been omitted entirely. And then towards the end of the Dark Night of My Soul, it was like 8 years of really dark stuff. I don't want to go too much into it, but towards the end of it, I began hearing things, voices, spirits. I thought I was being surveyed, and my family called me crazy. My friends were calling me crazy. I lost all my friends, and well, not all of them. There was a couple that stuck by me, and I really appreciate them for doing that. But it got to a place where I had what medically would be called a psychotic break. And I drove home back to my parents' house, with my tail between my legs, just crazy out of my mind. They were really concerned about me. And then after like 3 months of being with them, I realized I like had to get back out, right? I had to get out of there. Moved to Colorado, lived here for about a year, and then had this night, well, this moment throughout the night. And when I woke up, someone was in my room. It was a feminine voice that said, "Alex, it's time." And I was just like, "What? What was that? Like, who is?" Then I popped up, and it felt like this warm, just flood of light love energy. And I said, "Yeah, okay, let's do it." And they said, well, I said, like, what do you want me to do? Right. And it came back to me and it said, "It'll come to you." So I was a little, caught off guard with that, not really sure what to do with it. Went to my YouTube feed and this woman showed up. Her name was Candace. She's also in the book as one of the women I interviewed. And we connected right away. We put together our first Heal the World event online back on November 11th, 2024. And since then, I put together Ascend Pathway, the online community that I'm working with, that are helping people grow and learn about awakening. It costs $10 a month, which I would have spent that easily if I would have known there's a community out there that gets me, right? Because I was all alone, didn't know what was going on, didn't know who to trust. And yeah, it's been a year of really hard work putting it together, and now we're starting to take off. We finally monetized. So like anyone that joins, anyone that you invite, if you would like to be a part of the group, you also get commission. So if you're watching this and you want to be a part of the community, make sure to join with Veronica's link. It'll be in the description so that she can get her credit for getting you on board. And I would just look forward to meeting you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I didn't know we were gonna get commission. Hey, that's great. That helps. Yeah, because I see all these like YouTubers like put all their links and stuff, and I'm like, my links are embedded. If they want to give, great, that would be great. But yeah, it's a good way to help one another. Even Teresa and I were talking yesterday. I said, well, I don't charge my guests to come on. I feel like this is part of my mission, but at the same time, it's like, okay, well, how do we make money? Well, donations, right? They can buy my books. They can buy your books. They can, I make arts and crafts. I make books. They can buy my books, readings, whatever. But so Jenny, how was your kind of like awakening, or how did you become enlightened? How did you start your yoga? What made you connect with other people? Thank you.
Yeah. So, I guess to start, I kind of like grew up going to church and youth group and connected in that way. And then throughout high school, I ended up doing more yoga and seeing all the sides and how it can really elevate your experience with spirituality. Um, and then I ended up doing my yoga teacher training in 2016. So I was 19, went out to India and really dove deeper into that and started connecting more in the spiritual realm, also just with mythology. And the more I read into texts, I was like, wow, this is all true. And also, there's links between all of these different sacred texts that are really saying the same thing, and the names are changed, and there's just something so much bigger than, like Alex was saying, like than we were really taught and told. So I also, like Alex, kind of had this dark night of the soul. I had more of like I felt like my Kundalini awakenings kind of came in waves. I went to India and shot way up into my crown chakra and then really grounded back down and went to college and whatnot, and everything just didn't work out. Like I tried to do like the career thing and be a vet tech, and I tried to be a marketing executive, and I tried to do all these things, and there were just so many hard stops from the universe that was like, this isn't the direction I want you to go in. So did another yoga teacher training. It was a 300, 500 hour, and I really dove into chakras and the different energy centers of the body and started doing more breath work. And this has been over really the last year. And through the breath work and the energetic cleansing, I started really channeling more and being able to tap into some spiritual gifts that I had that were blocked throughout my energy centers. And once I started to heal them, I was like, oh, cool. Like, if I heal these things, I get the gifts that are also associated with the chakra, which is really, really cool. And then I met Helen Yi Flen, who is the author. Actually, I'll just pull her book. I have her book always on standby, but it's the Aura Color Wheel. And I did her online program and started seeing visions rather than just having like that clairsentient knowing. So I did more spiritual coaching with her and really developed the confidence behind channeling and got involved with the Council of Light. So I really redirected back to that Christ conscious frequency that I had grew up with also, and used that as an energetic barrier. And I said, oh, I just have to ask for protection because feel all these dark energies, and I just have to ask the Holy Spirit to come in and cleanse everything out and be a barrier, and only light-centered beings of the highest light and highest frequency vibration are allowed to enter my energy field. And I do my best to do breath work, Palo Santo, and just with crystals, selenite is fantastic. So yeah, I really dove deeper into that through with the darkness, inviting the Holy Spirit in, and then also connecting deeper to other light beings like Isis and Mary Magdalene, and realizing and archangels, and just like the whole council of light, the kingdom of God that is also translated in multiple ways. So yeah, in
I really,
essence.
I really like that. I really like that.
Well
Very
said.
concise. Yes, I'm happy you guys are here. Teresa, yesterday she was showing me her necklace. She did. I think you have a master's in demonology, right? And then you did like 13
I'm a
years
demonologist, but I have a master's of divinity. Yes.
master's
Oh,
in
I
They're
love
divinity.
two separate things.
She was showing me
So
her neck.
I tell her, I didn't plan that out. It just worked out that way. And
it.
it was a really weird trip.
You know, like Jenny, you were saying with the university. You know, I tried going. I went and I was there for, gosh, I did pretty much. I did junior year, senior year at the University of Arizona, and then I did another 3 years, and I was doing really good. My junior year had a 3.0. You know, I was going to go become a bilingual educator. I was going to get 2 minors, music and linguistics, but something happened. Um, you know, the man I was married to, he's like, oh, well, you need to start working. You know, I was like, I was already a realtor and I was in the army too, reserves. So, oh, we got to start making money. I unfortunately listened to him, so I didn't pursue it. But at the same time, that was not for me. Like something happened to where that was not the path to go, you know. And I had other things. I did my own businesses. That's when I went into, you know, police work and things like that. And now after the awakening, I'm like, you know what? I have to reach out to people like, you know, to souls like you guys. And my ultimate thing, I was telling Teresa yesterday, is I want you all to know that there is a God greater than they've taught us, because I also read the Egyptian Book of the Dead as well. So I understand what you're saying. You know, when it goes, when it's like, well, that's a Jesus, well, that's a Buddha, well, that's, you know, that's Mary Magdalene, well, that's Virgin Mary, that's, you know what I'm saying? Like it goes on and on and on and on. And there really is no way to put God in a box. You
Nope.
know, he ain't gonna be no Jack in the box. You know what I'm saying? So
Yes, I love that.
it just, yeah, it all works out, and I'm just really happy to connect with you guys. And I know that from here, more people will reach out to you all, and you all can help, like start a community like Alex wants, like a physical community. I see that. I see that happening physically. You know, if Project Blue is happening here in Tucson, you know, and they're doing it for their own thing, which I do not consent. What is it? You know, God works in mysterious ways, and you all can have your own land, and you know, invite other people and have your community there, have your healing centers. Some people travel to Sedona. They pay thousands of dollars to go see, you know, these guys, and it's very simple. It's very simple. It's all about going into your inner child and saying, you know, I'm sorry. I forgive my inner child. I have to forgive myself from not listening to the inner child, which could also be God, right? So I don't know, Teresa, you want to show your necklace? I really liked it. I was like, I want to get one of those one day. Did you make yours?
No, I didn't make this one. It's The greater seal of King Solomon. That's the common name for it. It's got the seven archangels and their signs and their planets and then in the very middle is us. That's us in there. And it's numerically coded with angelic script also. So it plays a good role in protection, especially. Yeah.
So you were mentioning that, I mean, so there's so many different religions, right? And Jenny was
Yeah.
saying how a lot of them, all the different like denominations and sects have very similar stories.
Yeah.
It's like, isn't it just the same, pretty much the same word of God, which you're absolutely right. You can't put that into a, like, you can't write down how magnanimous and magnificent God is with all of the things that are involved with creation. But it's like the same story, but split off into different versions of that, which
Mhm.
it was, like just spreading it into the nations, but then it got twisted into this like war and this anger and this fighting each other to try to prove one another right when it's, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. It's like this just leads right back to the same source, right?
Right.
Yeah. Can I
And
chime in here? Because I feel like this also kind of like ties in to what you, Veronica, were saying about like forgiveness and whatnot and forgiving your inner child.
Yeah.
And I feel like it really all goes back to like that essence of like unconditional love and really being able to I have this thing, I might pull it up, but it's the principles of forgiveness. And it really is just the divine nature that we are all the same on some level, and we all have wounds that we need to heal, and we can't take that on from others. And also, love is the only frequency that is real and exists.
Yeah.
And yeah, so
I wouldn't mind you pulling it up. You can share the screen, and then every time, anytime anyone tells me the unconditional love, I always go back to the movie Interstellar. The first time I ever watched that movie, when Matthew McConaughey, the actor, he's in the fifth dimension, like in between, like the computer and the universe and the library where his daughter was. Have you guys ever seen that movie?
Interstellar?
Yes, I highly
No, I
Nope,
haven't
recommend
seen
it.
that one.
22 for me.
I
Sorry.
don't think I've seen that one either.
Say again, Jenny?
Oh, it's 222 for me right now, so I just random
Oh
spurt.
yes, yeah, clearing mirrors, and then that's what I do when I see 222, cleaning mirrors, and just remembering, that we can go through the windows, the mirrors, the portals, and then you can go and bring whatever it is, whether it's relic or knowledge to you, to others, and it's just the mirrors. To me, 22 is always like so weird. Kind of like 222, like the Masters, 444. But so the Interstellar, I cried so much when I first saw that movie because he was trying to, I don't really want to spoil it, but he was trying to reach someone, we'll just say. And then all of a sudden, the, we'll just say alien being told him, because he says, I could feel so much love, and since my father took his life when I was 13, but I still felt his love. So when they were talking about that, in the movie, how the feeling and with the music, Hans Zimmer, is playing in the background. It's like, wow, unconditional love surpasses and goes through the dimensions. That's what Alex was saying. But go ahead, Jenny.
Oh, no, I was just sorry. I was just taking it in and I'm on my phone, so I can't see any of you. And once I shared my screen, I just can't see you guys right now. So I apologize.
It's okay. We can see you and take it away.
Oh, perfect. Yeah. So this is actually something that I think this was a channeled transmission by my teacher, Helen, but I just really resonated with it and um, made it just into this because I absolutely loved it. So I can read it if you guys want, just because I think it's beautiful. But so forgiveness is a deeply profound acceptance of our holiness, the total acceptance that we are all equal, the moment we step back into our true self, the welcome home to peace, the awakening of our inner vision, a celebration that the angels dance with joy, remembering our innocence, loving ourselves enough to not accept bad behavior when someone else's errors no longer affect our happiness, the opening love that is ever present, digests toxicity and initiates healing, and the remembering that we can never really be hurt, for nothing can truly tarnish our soul.
I
So,
love that. That's so great.
But I have feelings though. What if I am hurt? Because I'm a sensitive. I was born sensitive and everything. I feel everything. So that's my
She
thing.
does. She feels
If this,
everything.
I feel I do. I do. And so that, what would you say to people like us that are born sensitive, that we feel everything and everything affects us, because all we want is you guys to be nice and get along and do what you're supposed to do in
yeah.
your
So
mission. You know what I mean?
I
What would you
think
tell, you know,
this is actually
what would
something that I realized in like going deeper into past life regressions and soul woundings. So I also do past life regressions and cord cuttings as an offering if anyone else is out there listening and interested. But so through that, I kind of realized that I experienced this like deep, deep trauma in a past life. And when I went there, I did a ho'oponopono and I like was thanking that part of my soul for experiencing it. And I had this really deep realization that when we experience this darkness, it's part of the reason that we kind of came to Earth is to understand the depths of darkness. And when we truly experience that, we create an even greater capacity for light. So, as much as it hurts and as much as the hurt is real, the hurt isn't something that tarnishes our soul. It's something that actually allows us to heal a wound that we are made very aware of in that moment. And through that healing, we create a greater capacity for light. So it's not about ignoring the hurt as much as it is saying thank you for allowing me an opportunity to learn a lesson and really like reclaim that power and embody even more light than I would have without it.
I might have something to add on to that too. And I'm curious to see what you guys think, the people in this podcast with me. So feelings are meant to be felt, right? And we are the last chain of a very long DNA strand, right? Through our ancestors, all of our heritage, all of the people that came before us. And we're in touch with our emotions, right? So we feel a lot, especially if you're an empath or a highly sensitive person like myself. We are inclined to shut that down because it's very painful. Because I think that we're feeling pain from like our entire family tree that shut it down and didn't allow themselves to feel those emotions. So it got down to us. I mean, like I was put on drugs when I was a kid, like Ritalin, Adderall, antidepressants, Zoloft, Seroquel, so many different things that just numbed me. And
Yeah.
always inside, I was like, no, this isn't right. I shouldn't be taking these. Like, it's just, I felt this drive inside that I had to feel. And so I stopped eventually, and like, I feel a lot. Like, it's just like constant, right? Like, constant pain. You just like can't get out of it. You don't know if this is my pain, collective pain, ancestor pain. It doesn't matter. It's just that you're the one feeling it and you need to feel it. And that's what allows, I think, that forgiveness to be able to take place is after the pain is felt, to let it go and know that it's not tarnishing your soul. You're actually doing a service to other souls that haven't been able to correct their karmic cycles. Like we're taking on other people's, well, we're not taking it on, but like we're assisting in the healing of others, even though we don't aren't necessarily conscious of it.
I agree. Thank you, Alex. Now, what I also feel, I don't know if you do, but there's certain people in the family and others that when they try to be mean, like to me or others, I also feel their pain, and I also feel their frustration because they cannot feel for you, because if they feel bad for you, then it's so much pain that goes back into them that they cannot go through that mirror. Do I make sense? They won't allow themselves to feel the pain that they're causing you, but that they're also feeling when they're doing that. But at the same time, they feel this, I got you now. I stabbed you apart. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like, that's how I feel. I'm like a little kid, okay? There's just, I have a lot of passion for humanity. So it's just, it's a lot of feeling, you know? So I always do like the shields up, you know, there's multiple layers that I do. And then, but you're right, Jeannie, I also have cord cutting, and I have one that I share with the public all the time. And it wouldn't allow me to post it all, but I don't know, do you want to share yours or do you want me to read mine? I don't know, it's up to you.
Like what I do for cord cutting, or
Yeah, I have a cord cutting contract that I share with people. So if I read it to you, do you want to, I mean, do you want to say, hey, this is kind of like what I do, or this is,
yeah, we can kind of like both share if you're open
Yeah,
to
both
that.
of you share.
okay, I wouldn't mind. Okay, let me read this real quick.
Definitely, at the very least, want to hear yours.
So this is just something I put together with another friend of mine in the past, because I shared a lot of what I was doing, and she shared hers, and we made one together. So it's, I break all ties, vows, oaths, blood oaths, contracts, agreements, and entanglements with, and then you write down what you want, the name or this incident or whatever happened to me when I was a kid or whatever. For example, if you're having a dream, like I'll just do it right now. It was not a dream. I woke up and I said, you know what? No more this, no more that. It was something personal. And, you know, I have to heal this, heal that. And then as soon as I cut cords and I said, in the name of Jesus, because you could use abracadabra, you could use in this now moment, you can use as above, so below. But when I did that, the thing that came up in my mind, I saw that there was a boat, and then there was these two entities that were all white. They had a tail. They looked like little devils. They were evil looking things. And they were both, one was on top of the other, and they were in a mesh, like I had, like if I was a pirate and I had taken them, and they're in the how do you say that, the net. And that's how they appeared to me. And I'm like, well, I'm done with you guys. You know, I already did my cord cutting, but you can put something like that. Okay. In all time, space, reality, past, present, and future, alternate space, in between space, parallel pockets of reality and realities, in all dimensions and in all contexts of realities. And I ask that this be done right now. I do not consent, I do not agree to any kind of program, overlay, agenda, or entanglement connections between myself and these two beings. I unplug, delete, uninstall, shut down, cut off any and all connections with these beings that I saw in my vision. Right now, I ask that I ask that my soul be brought back to its natural space and time, and so be it. So you can also just say, you know, I cut all oaths, blood oaths, known and unknown to me in this now moment with so and so. It is done. It could be that simple. Mine was kind of long, but
No, I love that. I actually saw like some archangels around you, and like the phone started glowing, like the aura was just like radiating a golden light. But I definitely so just to preface, I don't, generally speaking, tap into other people's auric fields without their consent, but sometimes I'll see like rays of light and I feel called to let people know when it like is really shifting like that. So I definitely felt, yeah, I felt Archangel Michael, just like even just through your glasses, and Archangel Zadkiel was also just like really there helping everything transmute. So just letting you know, I sensed the power behind that.
Thank you. Archangel Michael's always been with me. I think he was born with me because he's always been with me.
So yes.
Thank you. Yay.
Yeah. So mine, so I generally speaking, when I do it, I use my sound healing bowls. So I have one for the Earth Star and the Soul Star chakra. If I'm at like a fair or something, I don't usually have my bowls there. I just have my crystal grids for protection and, you know,
Yeah.
whatnot. But also I'll have those two just to kind of create a little frequency barrier. And then I call in Archangel Michael to just kind of be there, drop into a meditative state and move through the chakras. And then I actually have you envision any cords that are coming off, like that you don't want, that like are known or unknown, and you can visualize like a particular circumstance and really go into that as well. But then I ask Archangel Michael to come in and cut the cords, and then I request the assistance of Archangel Raphael to come in and just patch up the aura and heal any energetic leaks where that was. And then I also specifically ask Archangel Jophiel, who's the angel of joy, to come in and really inject joy, love, gratitude, and light into your auric space. Just because when you cut cords, it can leave an empty space. And it's really important to ask, or also just at least, or hope ho'oponopono or a loving kindness after the fact, just to really like bring in those feel good emotions, is just really helpful. So you don't go out and repeat patterns. Just to go on a little like tangent, but another thing with chords is we can cut a chord with a person or an event even. And if we haven't learned the lesson behind the chord, it can show up in a different person, place, circumstance, and it gives us the opportunity to learn that lesson again. So definitely journaling after. I always recommend journaling after my sessions, and then any guidance that comes up is really significant, just so you can really move forward. Also, in like keep stepping forward in clarity, not just feel it momentarily. So, yeah.
Thank you. You know what I heard when you were talking?
What?
One is the song from the big guy, the big guy from Hawaii. I think he's Hawaiian. That he sings over the rainbow. He's singing like he's playing the ukulele or whatever. That was very peaceful. I love that.
Tingling
And then
now and seeing rainbows.
I know. And then seeing like, because the first time I ever heard this, and it's a memory that's in my mind that I'm going to share with you. It's so beautiful. So I went to Los Angeles with my daughter in 2016, and I had never been to the Space Museum, and the Endeavor was there. And we were under the Endeavor, the ship, and I started crying. This is before I knew that I was in the secret space program as a, what they call a super soldier, but we're all super soldiers. And I started crying, and my daughter's like, "Why are you crying, Mom?" I don't know. I know I've been here. Like I feel a connection to this ship, right? And then after we went, there was an audience, and we went to a screen thing. They were just showing some pictures, and then at the end, they showed just the planets and then the stars, and then this song comes on, the Over the Rainbow one, and I just started crying again. Like it was very healing. Have you guys ever had any experiences like that? And then before we end, because we can go another, I would think an hour and a half total if you guys want to, or whatever. I have time today. I wanted to share an experience of Archangel Michael in reality, but that's like later. I want you guys to talk because you guys are the guests here. So.
I mean, I'm also open to hearing your experience with Archangel Michael because that's, yeah,
Okay.
beautiful. But
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll tell you, and then you guys can talk about whatever. So what happened was, this is when I was living with a friend who I thought was my best friend from high school, and I was getting more and more psychic. Her husband taught me, I'm a shaman. He taught me how to see, because I would see things, and then he was teaching me how to clear entities from people. And that's what I do as well. I can go into a home and clear hexes or clear entities from a person. And he said, look, okay, what you do is you're going to take a picture of this person. He showed me a lot of things. And then the number 5 means this means that on their face. Look, they have an entity here. Let's clear that. So then we would go out to the outside, to the backyard. He would have like a circle, and then he would invoke Archangel Michael. There's a lot of things that went into that, okay? A lot of training. I didn't know I was being trained. All I know is that I was homeless and I had to go live with these people. And I didn't want to, but I had to, right? So this is after the divorce. I got everything taken away from me. And anyway, I went to the mall, and I think I went to the mall. I don't know, if maybe to make a payment. I don't know what it was. And I just, all that month, I was like, Archangel Michael, who are you? I feel your presence. Like, who are you? And I was sitting outside of a restaurant on my phone looking at all Archangel Michael pictures of all kinds. Somebody's on here. Let's see. Auntie Erin. Hi, how are you? She's like, hey, y'all. So anyway, I'm looking at these beautiful pictures, AI Archangel Michael back then in 2017, I believe. And then I go to the restroom. I come out of the restroom, there's a huge hallway, and then there's a vending machine in front of me, and I'm walking out toward the mall again. And there comes this man. Old man, shorter than me, white hair, blue eyes. He looked about 80, maybe 85 years old. Fedora hat, a light blue, like a light blue tan suit. He did not belong there. He was a time traveler. And I didn't know who he was. And guess what he was wearing? He was wearing a chain that said, King of Kings, this big. And he had a Bible under his arm. And it was not Sunday. He had a Bible under his arm. And all I could do is I hugged him. And then he hugged me. And then his last was, we didn't talk. With his hand, he patted me on the shoulder. And I said, I love you, brother. I don't know who you are, but I love you. And he said, he didn't talk. And then he left. And then I left. And I'm like, could that be Archangel Michael? To me, that's Archangel Michael. That's my experience. But have you guys had?
I just have chills right now, so it definitely feels like it was an angel of sorts. And yeah, if you're feeling Archangel Michael, definitely trust that intuition but I'm also seeing orange, and I'm also like getting Jeremiah. So yeah, another archangel, but yeah, so it could have been Michael, but also just an angelic being also, and like recognizing that like your angels and spirit guides can show up in like many ways, shapes, and forms. And
Yes.
But yeah, I think that definitely is probably Archangel Michael, but I'm also just feeling Jeremiah's presence with you, and that could also just be the essence of forgiveness you were giving. So
yeah, thank you.
Sorry for the clutter that just came.
Oh, no, I love it. I love this show. It's awesome. We're going to reach a lot of people. A lot of people will listen.
So we're asking if we have any like experiences with angels.
Yeah, whatever, whatever
So,
kind of experience that you think it's like from a dimension that comes to you in this dimension, you know what I'm saying?
okay. Yeah, I find myself getting jealous. Well, maybe I shouldn't be. I don't know. Jealous of people that can like see like these angels or these colors or different things because I don't have that. I have more of like the hearing, and I'll have things come through that I'm pretty sure are angelic, but after so much time, you're just like, wait, is that? And you can't really you can't really tell the difference between like a benevolent being, malevolent being, angel, alien, who knows? But I do know that even all of them, eventually, like, however I take the message, like it'll say one thing, maybe telling me to do one thing, and maybe feel resistant and I'll do something else, but that something else was the thing that I was supposed to actually do, you know? So, like, they're guiding me in ways that, like, my ego will even respond the way that they want me to. Because, like, my life it just keeps getting better and better and better. Like, it's a lot of work, but it's steadily going in the right direction. Like the community is building. I feel like my own healing is taking place. And I mean, I just have to assume that there's a lot of angels involved with my healing in particular. I actually did my first cord cutting with Jenny, and I didn't know anything about it really before. And when we did it, it was there was like a week of integration where it was pretty rough that I wasn't really ready for, and then everything changed. Like I felt lighter, I felt more clear. It was wonderful. So thank you, Jenny.
You're welcome. And yeah, it can be sometimes it can be a little tough with that integration period. So important to note. But and also I think it's important to note that like not everyone is going to like receive signs and symbols in the same ways. So like, even with Archangel Michael, like he can appear as hawks and blue birds constantly in your path. And like that's a little reminder. Or Archangel Metatron can be eagles and Ariel, like for the Archangel, she can be significant for lions also and whatnot. So there are different associations that you like also through journaling you can pick up on. But really just taking into account the power of synchronicity and trusting your own intuitive power because that's also a gift in itself when you like for me I've heard Sedona like 5 times in relation to like fairs and whatnot and even popping up in this one so just like that's part of it also is like taking note of like how many times has this specific place or this specific like animal popped up in my feed like maybe let me go in and research a little bit more about that and then developing also in that way is one thing that I've also done. And yeah, so just
I
a
know
little,
that Sedona is it's like a vortex in there, and then the water's very special. There's very clear, very healing. So there's a vortex there. I wrote about that, and then the different how pretty much you could be transported to another dimension there. I mean, anywhere we can, okay, but it's just there's something specific there. It to me it feels like either a UFO crash or indigenous like prayer circles that multiple ones that embody this water source. I don't know. It's
Yeah,
just
I've heard Sedona's got a lot of spiritual connection some way or another, right? So I mean, I guess you guys could say like, because I see a lot of angel numbers, a lot of synchronicities. Is there an archangel that's like all about the numbers? Like, would that be? I might
yes.
be
I
wrong,
think
but is it Metatron?
I don't know if it's Metatron, but I see an entity that is in charge of angel numbers, but then again, it could also be AI.
Well, the ones I see the most are like on cars, like license plates. Those are
I
the
think
ones,
I
and like on
it,
buses or.
yeah. I think it's yourself waking up because that's what happened to me when I first had my awakening. I started going into angel numbers and I learned how to do numerology. I'm not perfect at it, but I can for me, for my sake, oh, this means that. The date this, oh, reverts to that. Oh, a 5 means change, and it also has to do with walk-ins and things like that. But I think it's yourself reminding you, but with the also with the help of others, in that in that line. Does it
Yeah.
make sense?
Yeah, well, there was
Yeah.
one summer I followed angel numbers all the way to LA. I was like, oh,
Nice,
I
I
gotta
love
go
it.
this way, then I gotta go that way, and I got all the way down to LA, had a interesting experience, and then I kind
Love
of
it.
hit a dead end, and I was like, what? Where? Nothing. Oh, okay. I guess I learned what I had to learn, and then I made my way back.
You're like Route 66, down to 6, down to 7, and down to
Something like
I know
that, yeah.
exactly. Yeah, I know exactly what you mean about following them because, you know, as being in police, I'm always like, oh, decoding. Like, what does that mean, really? They put it in as their name, but what does it mean? Let me take it a step higher. And then I always remember the license plate in front of me, beside me, because I'm always on, you know, like, what's going on here, right? On high alert. But as far as I taught my nephew, I don't know if you guys do this, but the clouds, I'll say, okay, guys, entities, come on, help me. Where are we going today? Like when I had my vehicle, I would go everywhere. I would follow the clouds and they would point this way, that way. One time I ended up in Catalina foothills, and I loved it. And there was a road there called Juanita. Juanita was my grandmother's name. I ended up in a home that was a 2-story home with a pool on the top, and it was just beautiful. And my vision, and it had fruit trees, all kinds, you know, like we had lemon and all, you know, orange. And my dream then, I was looking through the windows, it was for sale. My dream then was that I wanted to have a healing place for those that had been homeless or had been married and had everything taken away, and then that they needed help. I would have an education center. They would be given, you know, 2 chances. Like if they did something wrong, you're out. You know, 2 or 3 chances, you're done. Or if you did great, you graduated, you got your degree. Hey, we got a job for you. And then the feeding, like we would cook and things like that. And I would have people in charge of that. That was my dream back then. And when I had my awakening, and then when I had that light come out that I talk about a lot, I was in bliss. I knew what the God of love was then. Now, going back to Jenny, what you were saying about the avians, I have a lot of hawks come to me and eagles, even when I was like riding my bike through the loops, or they just came to me in my old apartment. They were there. They had their babies, and then their babies had babies hawks, you know. And then I had one dream of the seventh heaven. The seventh heaven is just really quick. I'm just bringing it up because I need to, I guess. But I was dreaming that I went into these doors. They were huge doors that were seven doors, and they were all gold. They were huge, like kind of like church doors, like really tall. They were golden. There was a man there that let me in, and then there was an auditorium. There was all kinds of people there, and there was a screen in front of us, and there was a lady there, and said we came. She said we came from the egg underwater, and I'm like, what? And then she ate the egg, and then there was a fish, and I'm like, what? Why am I dreaming this, right? So I said I can't be worshiping. I can't be worshiping this God. Everybody was worshiping this weird God, and I'm like, no, I'm not going to worship it. So I left, and then I get stuck in. It's indoor. It's an indoor cave. I'm under a cave. This is under a cave, and then it's all like different structures that I had to go through. Somehow I have to go to the other side, but I end up stuck inside like in between a sofa. But then on the other side, I come around and I see the God. Their God in the seventh heaven is a human, but it's a bird. And he has black hair. He was wearing orange.
Mm.
He was wearing orange, and all throughout his body, it has leaves painted on his body, but he's ultimately wearing orange. And then I woke up and I'm like, wow, is this the seventh heaven? Because that's what they told me. And it's just interesting. There's gods for everything. And then remember, there or sergeants or lieutenants, we can call them that instead of gods, because we can all say we're gods too, you know. So I forgot what I was gonna say, but I find it very interesting. The other times that I did have a dream of birds were when I was in Area 51, and I was taken to Area 51 by a man in black in an elevator, and there was two bird men beings, and they were just sitting on the ledge, and the elevator was you can see an atrium too, and then I was taken down to Area 51. It was just really interesting. There's just a lot of, oh, this is what I was going to say. There's Fomorians. The Fomorians from Atlantis, they also make them here. The military makes them. So it's half, they're hybrids. Like we're hybrids. Okay, they can mix our DNA with different animals and boom, oh, we got Veronica, you know, or hey, we got Jenny. But they were like half horse, half humans, and that's why you see in the old books of Halloween these weird creatures, especially when we were kids, Teresa, black and white. Have like these big heads of a horse and this little body of a kid, you know. Um, they mainly come out in Halloween. That's why they celebrate Halloween. But I went off tangent, and that's okay. Who's next? Teresa, you haven't said anything. Come on.
I'm enjoying it. I want to go back to where we're talking about the community, about your community, and how you guys are striving to use regenerative energy to um help put the soul back together so that it's not so fragmented. So you guys are discussing some really, really good ancient works every time, healing principles. So could we touch a little bit more on after the dark night of the soul, then what? You go see Veronica, or you go see Jenny, or you come see me, or you know, what does the community have to offer in relation to this?
So I'd say the most important thing is to have other people you can relate to. And then there
Right.
are, right now, we've got about 50 plus healers in there. So you can reach out to people, get to know them, make a new friend. And you can even find out that a lot of us have unique modalities that you can pay for and that we can offer to you to help you begin your healing journey, to help you answer the call. Because that's one thing I think that happens a lot when people get awakened is they'll feel this beautiful, like everything's more vivid, colors are brighter, everything makes sense. And then it doesn't, because like that feeling doesn't stay as intense as it is in the beginning throughout the entire awakening. People go
Right.
back into their matrix jobs and go back into their old ways and just like think, okay, it was nothing. But that's something that like it's how awakening works, is like it'll be really intense at first. It'll be like your spring and everything's amazing, blooming, blossoming. And then it hits summertime in like a spiritual sense where you're like, okay, I guess, like you kind of get used to the colors. They don't seem so bright anymore. And then you'll hit the fall of your spiritual awakening and you'll start to question yourself and be like, I don't know if what I was feeling was real. I don't know
Oh
what,
yeah.
yeah. And then you'll hit the winter, which is like the void. Like you're like, all right, I was out of my mind. I was completely crazy. I don't know what I was thinking. That's the point. You got to hold on to your faith though. Just know spring's on its way. Just hold tight. Keep doing what you're doing. And then it'll hit spring again. You'll be like, yes, I love this. I'm so stoked. And then it just cycles like that. I mean,
Yeah.
the longer I've been awakening, the easier it is to get through those winters. Like at first, I
Uh,
was just like, I don't know. I should probably admit myself into like a mental institution. This is just, I don't know what I'm doing. But the
do
more I do
you
it, you
do
get.
you have any like sponsorship companies, and this is for you, Jenny, too, um, that help with nutrition? Are you guys able to grow your own food out there? Or is this just an online community? Are you looking to, put some roots down somewhere and make it available in that way and not just online?
Yeah, that's the long-term goal. So yeah, we are open to anyone that if they have land that's not being used, if there's anyone that has any building experience or wants to invest, that would be great. I'm using the school platform to raise the funds to start making that happen unless somebody else comes forward sooner. So
Yeah.
for now, it's online, but we do intend to put actual brick and mortar buildings down. I'm expecting to do I'm picturing a 10 helm village with retreat center in the middle. 5 of those houses are for people that live there on site, like facilitators, um, and guides and healers. But then the other 5 will be available for Airbnb so that people can come, fly out, rent these homes for 10 to 12 days or however long they want to stay. And then they can learn what it's like to live with the earth like we used to.
Right.
And the general idea is because I see our government's not really taking care of us. They don't have us in mind. So when everything crumbles and everything falls apart, I want somewhere for us to go. So like it just doesn't collapse and then we're just like asked out. Like, what do we do now?
Yeah.
I want to
What do we
have
do
multiple
now?
villages in place. So it's like we can take care of ourselves. We can be independent. I'm hoping to have like water. I mean, yeah, water, electricity with solar panels, regenerative farming, internet, like just the basic needs. And it's going to be a little bit more minimalist than people are used to, but it's also going to be much more affordable, especially once we get past the point of construction and it's just living
Right.
off the land at that point.
Well, that's good to know. That's really good to know. And then
I,
are we done?
not yet. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. But when Jenny, when you were talking about your different um healing techniques and stuff, your different modalities, um you said that you were really moved by the mythic in that realm, influencing you and polishing you up and getting you all ready to go get and jump into your mission. And you said something about you were one thing you felt was really important was the healing blocks, right? To
Mhm.
for us to heal our blocks. And I had this thought, yeah, we need to heal them and send them on their way because we don't want to capture them and keep them in a pain box. We don't want to keep them in our energy field at all. And I really appreciated that. I thought that was really smart.
Yeah. So, just to also touch on it. So, like, kind of the title that I've given myself is Soul Evolution Guide.
Yeah.
And that's just because, I mean, I have my backing in biology and whatnot, but then also through the Aura Color Wheel, which is the framework I teach through, it really goes into really being able to tap into your different aura layers and healing those aura layers. And through doing that, you encompass more light. And I think this was also going into like kind of just the wounding and how it's so hard to forgive people who are just, I mean, not great sometimes. And like really like, yeah,
Yeah,
like
but
do people hurt us?
the healing is
So,
always worth it. It's always
yeah,
worth it. I mean, BS is BS, and it doesn't matter the different styles of healing we all have, as long as we're doing that and through our own life and our own spirit and our own soul and our own bodies, then we're stronger together. We're stronger together. So,
love that.
I think we're all wearing blue, huh? Or are you wearing black, Alex? And it says we're all
I'm
one.
wearing black. Yeah.
That's
uh,
like blue could be,
Okay.
the blue bloods or Archangel Michael or the love, the blue, the being able
Or
to speak
layer.
chakra. Yeah.
Yep.
uh-huh.
That's one
Yep.
thing, little edit to add is I like to wear the color that I want to emit for. So I like purposely chose this color for speaking today just because I knew
It's
I
the
was going to
color of
want
trust.
to do that. Yeah.
Yeah, last night I said I was gonna wear my blue. Just
Mm,
um
love that.
so let's see. What was I gonna say? We could do you we could end now and then we could do another show later or whatever, but I would like for Jenny to lead us on to some kind of I don't know. I just see something for the like healing for the whoever's watching. If you can do that for us, whatever.
Yeah. Okay.
Before
Um,
Before you do that, I'm just gonna ask Alex and Jenny to just tell the public where they can reach you, and then I'll uh, when this is over, I'll do the thumbnail, and then I'll put the links in there. So how can they reach Jennie Gentry?
So you can reach me. I have an Instagram. You can follow me at Mindfully Limitless Yoga, and my website's yogazenbyjen.com. And the link will be in there, and you can book services through there, or even just contact me, join my online yoga community as well. So, yeah.
Thank you. And Alex?
Yes, you can reach me. And just to mention that I am also a rapid transformational therapist and a Reiki master. You can get a hold of me at ascendpathway.org, my website, the school community, school.com/ascend pathway. We have actually begun a podcast of our own on Ascend Pathway YouTube, and that description can be in the link where we talk. It's called Awakening to Ascension. They're 20-minute episodes, and we talk about everything from awakening to ascension, all things esoteric and metaphysical. We've got 90 days mapped out. And that's going to be around noon if you're in the US. And you can get a hold of me through my YouTube or through my website at sendpathway.org.
All right.
Thank you. I had to, the laptop, I forgot to connect it. And Teresa, where can they find you?
I don't want to be found. No.
Okay, fine. Well, we'll be in this.
I'm on Facebook under my real name because I can't remember all those pet names people gave me. Um, um, and I think my website is almost done, but I don't want to put that out yet because I want to make sure it's working right this time. So,
Thank you. And
and if you guys are looking for specialty gifts to support Veronica and I have custom made jewelry that Spirit shows me. That's a stone that's strictly designed for you. And I've been doing this for 26 years. That I'll have a dream, I'll meet somebody, or sometimes I meet them online, and I'll dream about them wearing a stone, or maybe it's a stone that's covering their third eye, like in the way I see things in my dream space is pretty close to the way I see it in real life. And so and the next thing I know, I'm meeting that person in real life. Oh, hi, hi. Oh, you were on that podcast I was on, weren't you? And yeah, here, this is for you. And I just give it to them. So if you're interested in anything like that, then let me know. And you can message me on the YouTube platform. I have a channel, and it's Teresa Sixberry at gmail.com. Or you can just write to me through the Facebook portal.
Messenger.
Yeah.
Thank you, Teresa. And thank you for she gifted me this when I met her. The next time I saw her, it's from Brazil. So thank you. It's quartz, right?
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. Like in the 80s. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm too
Yeah,
old to get too
boy.
excited about anything anymore. I just yeah.
I get excited all the time. So I'm happy, most of the time
My
I'm happy.
spirit does, my inner self does, but my public self is like, yeah, whatever.
I'm fine. I can't help but be myself. I can't help. Anyway, I'm Veronica Bartolini, Codebreaker Real Talk, Unchained Hearts, and I'll post my links here. I'm on several platforms. I make books. I wrote 3 books. I do readings. Teresa does readings too. And then we'll see you next time. And Miss Jenny is going to do something for us all. Thank you.
Right. So I'm just going to walk us through a aura cleansing meditation. So if you want to Move around just briefly, adjust your spine so it's as straight or as follows the natural curvature of your spine best as possible, lengthening the crown of your head away from your tail. Noticing your breath. The inhale might have a different temperature than the exhale. Allowing yourself to notice this without judgment and envisioning a white or golden cord of light, a golden mist that's entering in through your inhale, moving down through your spine, radiating down and out through the entirety of your body. At this time, calling in angels, spirit guides, beings of the highest frequency, highest vibrational light to come enter your energy field, patching up any auric leaks. And as a golden light continues to radiate over your crown, allowing this energy to fully encompass you, cleansing your auric space, allowing your full essence to truly radiate as your own. Taking a few breaths here, envisioning your next steps as the highest version of yourself, moving in the world with the greatest integrity and also archangel spirit guidance, moving you through your synchronicities, clearly seeing them. Taking a few more breaths here and starting to wiggle your fingers, your toes, coming back into the space, the room, and allowing yourself now to make the next steps that you need in life, in alignment.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you. Sending love and hugs to all. We'll see you next time. Bye for now.
Bye, guys. Thanks for coming on the channel. We appreciate it a lot.
Thank